So in this video, we're going to walk you through what Schoology looks like from the parent's perspective. So I've logged into Schoology as a parent, and I have two students of my own here in Schoology. Here you can see there are two accounts, and I'll just walk you through some of the various things that you can see as a parent. So down here on the right-hand side, I get an idea of what is coming up for all of my students, and I can just see the various assignments and tests or assessments that are coming up. I can then also go in here and click on one of my students and I get an overview of what courses he's in, and I can see some recent grades, also things that are assignments and so forth here. I can switch back to my other student and see what he has coming up. So as looking at this student here, I can now go into any of his courses and see what's available there. So this view here, I am seeing exactly what my student would see in Schoology. So notice here I have full access to all of the resources that the teacher has made available to the students. So we have some assignments here, we have folders with additional organized materials in here, and I can click on any of these, and again I have access to all of the materials that the teacher has made available to the students. So if my kid has questions about what's due, they need help with an assignment or so forth, I have access to all the same materials and I can go in and look at that and help my student out. I'm going to switch over to another course. And so right now the only thing that the student can see right now is this folder on the Giver unit. And as you can see in here, I have access to all of these different materials, and I know that there is a test today. I, as the parent, of course, can't go in and take the test, but I can see that my student got a 32 out of 38, and in this case I can see the actual questions itself because the teacher has made that available to me. I can also see any updates that the teacher has posted, so these would be announcements to the class as a whole from the teacher. So I also have then the option here for filtering. If I wanted to see what assignments are in this class, I can click and see what assignments are here, and I can click on any of these. So we go in and look at this assignment. I can see what the assignment was. I can see that there was a rubric used for this one, and I can also see that my student submitted the assignment. But then I can also look and see what he actually submitted. So here is the assignment that he submitted. I could see any comments that were made here. And because there was a rubric used, I can click here and I can see how he was scored on the rubric. Now we'll take a look at any class discussions that have happened. So I can filter on discussions. Here's one, and I can see what the prompt was. So it was see what the writing prompt was, and then I can see the teacher's responses, and I can see my student responses. There's my student's response. So notice I cannot see what the other students' responses were, and I cannot see their names. So I'm still looking at my one son here. I click on the home button, and now I have access to the calendar, so I can see an overview of everything that is coming up that was due for him, and I can look into the future to see if there's a few assignments coming up here in December. I could also look for all of my kids at once. So in one view I can see the view for all of my students right here on this calendar. Switch here to my other student, and as you can see here, I can see recent grades here. I can see that there's been 13 assignments and there's been 3 quizzes, so I can click on those and I can see each of those, and if I want to, then I can jump in here and look at particular ones. So as you can see, from the parent's perspective, you can have a lot of insight to what's actually going on in the classroom itself. I have access to assignments, resources, all the grades and so forth, and I have a very good idea of what's happening day to day in the classroom. Now real quickly, I want to highlight what a parent can see also in the Schoology mobile app. This is the first page that they will see, and it's all recent activity based on all of the activities that their students are involved in Schoology. And similar to online Schoology version, you can click on the icons across the top, and then you have access to all of the different parts of Schoology. If you click on My Children, you'll see a similar view to what we saw in the web version. So it will list your children, then you can click on one of them to go into more detail about that particular student's activities in Schoology. You also have the overview calendar view of all of the events and assignments and tests that are coming up for that student. Another great functionality of the mobile app is that there can be push notifications to the mobile app. So when there's an assignment due in the next 24 hours or a test coming up, the parent can choose to get push notifications sent to the mobile app. So those are highlights of how parents can use Schoology to help their students and keep track of what's going on in the classroom.